He was just sitting next to me, watching TV like everything was normal. My husband was out of town. We'd done this dozens of times before. But that night, he didn't just sit next to me. His hand slipped. And the worst part? I didn't stop him. And I've hated myself ever since. My name's Emma. I'm 29. I've been married to my husband, Luke, for 5 years. He's smart, ambitious, loyal. He works in finance, long hours, frequent trips, but I never doubted him. We weren't perfect, but who is? He always tried to make time for me. Date nights, calls from the airport, sweet notes left on the fridge when he had early flights. I used to keep them all. But things change. Slowly. Quietly. You stop kissing goodbye. You eat dinner in silence. You forget the last time you really looked at each other. That's where we were. Comfortable. Distant. Married, but lonely. Jack was Luke's best friend since college. Tall. Confident. The kind of guy who filled up a room. He came around often, birthdays, football games, BBQs. And when Luke was out of town, Jack would sometimes swing by to check in. At first, it felt nice. Familiar. Safe. He brought takeout, we watched Netflix, talked about dumb stuff. He never crossed the line. Not even close. But the line? It started to blur. He complimented my laugh. Remembered things Luke forgot. Held eye contact a little too long. I told myself it was nothing. He was just being nice. I was imagining it. Luke was in Chicago for a conference. It was a Thursday. Rainy. Boring. Jack texted me, "Want company tonight?" I got Thai food and the worst horror movie ever made. I laughed. Said yes. Why not? We sat on the couch. The movie played, but we barely watched. We joked. Talked about music. He made me laugh so hard I nearly cried. I hadn't laughed like that in months. Halfway through the movie, I noticed he'd moved closer. Our legs were touching. Not much. Just barely. My heart sped up, but I didn't move away. Then came the moment. He reached for the remote, his arm brushed my thigh. He left it there. I froze. It wasn't an accident. We both knew it. I could have stood up. I could have laughed it off. I could have said, "What are you doing?" But I didn't. I just sat there. Silent. Staring at the TV. His hand moved slowly. Up. Down. Deliberate. And still, I didn't move. I wasn't drunk. I wasn't confused. I was hollow. Numb. Curious. Angry. All at once. Then he leaned in and whispered, "You don't have to be alone, you know." And that broke me. I felt seen. Not loved. Not respected. Just noticed. I didn't kiss him. I didn't touch him. But I let him touch me. And he knew exactly what he was doing. When he left that night, he didn't say goodbye. He just smirked and walked out. I stood there for an hour, not knowing who I was anymore. I didn't tell Luke. I wanted to. I hated myself every second after it happened. But I didn't want to destroy him. Or us. Except, the silence destroyed everything anyway. Luke came home the next night. He kissed my forehead, asked how my week was. I lied. I said fine. But I couldn't look him in the eyes. I flinched when he touched me. I turned away when he hugged me. He noticed. Of course he did. A week later, he asked if something was wrong. I said no, and that lie hurt worse than the truth. 2 weeks later, Jack texted me again. "Want to finish that movie?" I promise not to touch the remote this time. I felt sick. Angry. Ashamed. I ignored it. Then blocked him. I wanted to pretend it never happened. But Jack didn't pretend. He told Luke everything. Twisted it. Said I came on to him. Said I begged him not to tell. Luke believed him, at first. He stormed out. Packed a bag. Said I was disgusting. Said I ruined everything. And maybe I did. It took days before Luke even listened to my side. And even then, I don't think he believed me. We didn't scream. We didn't throw things. We just stopped. He moved into a friend's place. I stayed in the house that felt like a stranger's skin. People always say cheating is loud. Explosive. But mine was silent. It happened in the space between two people sitting too close. I keep replaying that night. What if I moved away? What if I said no? What if I told Luke right away? But I didn't. And now, no version of the truth feels enough. I didn't cheat with Jack. But I let him touch me. And I didn't stop it. And that was enough to break everything. Here's what no one tells you: sometimes, the deepest betrayals aren't loud. They're quiet. Soft. A hand on your leg. A look you don't reject. A silence you don't break. I don't blame Jack anymore. Not fully. He tested the water. But I stepped in. Luke and I are still married, on paper, but I haven't heard from him in weeks. I sleep on one side of the bed now. The other side is cold. And empty. Just like me. If you've ever felt invisible in your own relationship. If someone made you feel seen when they shouldn't have. Tell me in the comments. Not because I deserve forgiveness. But because maybe, someone else out there needs to feel less alone. And if you made it this far, like, subscribe, and tell me, what would you have done?